you? All right. So, my dears, we are about to re-kick off this live challenge where you can start finding success in baking your homemade bread. So I'm set up in a slightly new location, and might even possibly be a minute or two late. I had to just do a happy dance because we got water again. Okay, so yesterday, I want to tell you this before I dive into our little course, or not course, the class today, okay? So bear with me for just a second, because this is important. You need to know these things, okay? Whew, gotta breathe. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited, okay? Yesterday, one of the biggest, busiest days on my schedule. So much so that literally 3 months ago, I had already called and helped to come help me for yesterday, okay? 3 months ago, I made sure I had help for yesterday to be here. Okay, what happens? Nothing works right. First thing in the morning. Okay, first thing in the morning, there's no water. We are 27 below zero the night before. Okay, so we're 27 degrees, or a negative 27. And those temperatures cause havoc and chaos everywhere they go, my friend. They are just not fun, and it did. It turned the world upside down for practically everyone here in Little Lodestar Valley. Okay, so right here where I am, it's been a hot minute since we've seen negative 30, okay? Now, negative 20s, yeah, that's common. That's an every year thing, okay? Negative 30s, not so much. And we generally have a tendency to be anywhere from 5 to 20 degrees warmer than everyone else in the valley. We have an awesome location right here. So if we were almost 30 below, yeah, guess what? Other places here in the valley, they were hitting almost 50 below. Yeah, that's cold, okay? You can't control the weather, y'all. All you can do is just do your best in the moment with whatever comes your way. If you're, okay, I gotta I have to rethink this in my head just a little bit. Anyway, how are you? What's the temperature where you are? Because I would really actually like to know. Okay. So, you can't control the weather. The only thing you can control is how you react to it. You can't control the weather outside, and you also sometimes can't control the weather inside your own home, inside your own life, and it turns everything upside down. You know what? Ice melts, honey. It melts. So sometimes you just got to be patient, and you got to take a breath and just relax. All right? All right. So, don't let the weather stress you out, okay? Do not let it stress you out, because that's stress that you don't need to be wearing. And it doesn't matter if it's the outside weather or the weather inside your own home, okay? It's not yours to wear. It's not your burden. It's just nature, and you don't have control over it. And if you don't have control over something, then it's not something that you have to worry about, okay? All right, so I'm going to tell you something that you've heard 100 times, 1,000 times. And it is the same thing that just about every motivational coach or speaker will ever tell you. All right? But I'm going to tell it to you different. You can't control the past. So stop fretting it and being angry about it. Yes, it is. Okay, can you go close the fridge for me, please? I hear it going down there. Ding, ding, ding. Can you go close the fridge for me? Be my big helper. Go close the fridge. Can you do that for me? Oh, good job. Are you going to be my helper? I actually came up here to do this so that kids weren't disturbing me. And I came up here to do this particular one because they have become so sick of mom always on camera. And always like turning their TV all the way down, and they're just like, Mom, will you be quiet? All right, so I use the TV as a distraction, y'all. Yes. Help you what? You want to do it by yourself? Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Here you go. Okay, please go close the fridge for me so it's not going ding ding. Okay, you do it by yourself, all right? Okay. Clara, please close the fridge, honey. All right. You cannot control the past, y'all. Let's get back on target. You can't control the past, but you can control how you are going to react to it. If you're going to hold on to that anger and go be constantly beating yourself up, going, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda is already in the past, but you can use that same mentality of shoulda, coulda, woulda and apply it to right here, right now, in your present, my dear. You can keep on smiling, or you can get angry and scream and yell and cry and have a big old time with it. Or you can turn that around, and when you start feeling all that bending up inside of you, you can remember that possibly, maybe you're overreacting. That this is outside of your control, and it was going to happen regardless. It could have. You don't know because you didn't do it that way. The only way you learn is by doing it, and sometimes when you do it, it is beautiful. It's like a symphony. Other times, yeah, not so much. It ends up being a catastrophe. All right, my dears. Let it go. And remember, what would you tell your toddler? Say you have a 2-year-old that didn't get their way. Something just didn't work. They're trying to make those blocks fit together, and they just won't fit together, and then they get angry, and they're mad, and they're screaming, and they're bawling, and they're throwing stuff, and they're just having a huge old fit. That's just the way it is. Maybe they didn't get that one thing that they wanted, and they're having a complete breakdown. That's okay too. But as a parent, what you do is you step in there and you go, stop throwing your tantrums. Stop throwing a fit. Calm down. It's okay. There's another way to fix this. But when we're looking into our own lives and we're facing the busiest day of the year, and then you get that extra kick of, oh, guess what? You thought you were going to be doing this. You've been telling it to everyone. You got it all planned out. Guess what? That's not going to happen now. Because your priorities just changed. Like having things like running water. That's life essential. Okay? Life essential. That takes precedence over everything else. So I was running my kitties down to the vet because that was already scheduled in for the day too. I didn't even touch anything with the business until Miss Blackie, stop that. Apologies. Didn't even touch the business until 8 o'clock last night. And I was supposed to be live all day yesterday. All day! My first live was scheduled at 9 o'clock yesterday morning. Guess what? It didn't happen. But you know what? That's life. And priorities had changed in an instant, even though that meant all the months of planning and working and getting everything ready that I'd done didn't matter. And that's okay. Yeah, are there other things that we could have done to avoid that? Yes, there are. But we didn't do them. Didn't even think about it. No. No. All right. Sorry, yo. Sorry. It's alive, right? My life is continuously happening, even though I'm here with you right now. Okay, so please take that to heart, y'all. You can only control how you're going to react to it. Okay? So you can choose to get mad, you can choose to get angry, but you can also choose to take a breath and just let go of the stress. Just let go of the plans and just say, okay, life just sent us on a roller coaster ride, and we're just going to have to hold on, kick back, and enjoy the ride. And you know what? That's exactly what I'm doing. There have been so many calamities the last several months. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm throwing out the rule book, and we're starting new, okay? We are just going to kick back. We're going to enjoy this ride. We're going to see where it takes us. And you know what? If it works out beautiful, then it works out beautiful, and I am going to love it every second. If it doesn't, then you know what? Hey, I just learned another way that this isn't going to work. So, without further ado, let's dive into the reason why we're actually here. Clara, I need you to run down and close the fridge, please. We'll close it up. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
What is it?
It's going ding, ding, ding. Run down and go close it up.
What is it saying?
It's going ding, ding, ding. Close me, close me, close me. You got to close me. Run down and close it, please. Be my big helper. Thank you. You're awesome. Are you still watching your show? It seems like you're joining me instead. Saying hi. Hi. I'm sorry. We love our Christmas jammies, and we refuse to take them off. And you know what? That's okay. Okay, I need you to go play. Okay, and I'll be down in just a few minutes. Okay? Okay, y'all. Yeast. Everything you need to know about yeast. All right? This didn't work great, really. Okay, that's good. You guys can't get on camera right now.
Mom.
Yes.
What's a red thing?
It's saying thank you now. You know what? Hey, can you go down and get me some kitty food? The kitties need some food. Can you go get some food for the girls and bring it up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I
Okay, here, Clara, can you take this and go give the kitty some more water, please? Okay, and then go give the kitty some water, okay? Distractions. Okay, so yeast is the #1 key to being successful in your bread baking. But there's a lot of things that you may not know about yeast that is holding you back and making it even harder for you to be successful. And we are all about finding success and making it easier. Because you can't start finding success in your baking until you know why certain things are going wrong, which is exactly why we're doing this challenge, honey.
And she got one.
Good job. Thank you.
Fill that one in the water and the cheese. No cheese.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, just go grab a new scooper. Find something new. You can figure it out. You got this. Hang on. No. No. I know, but I don't want that in here. You gotta clean that water up. You gotta clean the line up first before you start filling it up. Okay, we got water, and the kids are like, water! Like, no, it's gotta finish flushing. Okay, yes. Just only a little bit. Don't put a lot in it, okay? Okay. So, yeast is very temperamental, okay? It's temperamental, y'all. And it's very, very picky about the temperatures that it works in, okay? So, when you buy yeast straight from the store, guess what? It might not be good straight from the store. And there's a couple ways that you can help avoid that. Make sure you're checking the expiration date. Now, yeast stays good for a very, very long time. But before you get that, you don't know if that yeast has been exposed to high temps during its shipping, during its storing, all the things. if your yeast bag is not airtight, I mean, it's not like the air hasn't been sucked out of it, don't buy it. Never buy a bag of loose yeast, okay? Never. So if that bag is got air in it instead of being vacuum sealed, don't get it. Chances are that it's been exposed to improper conditions and your yeast has already died. It happens, okay? It happens. Brand new from the store. All right. So when you're buying it in bulk like I do, which is the way I truly suggest, you're going to save yourself a lot of money, a lot of frustration, and you can keep things far more accurate by doing it that way. All right. So, Claire, don't add any more to the tree. No, no more to the tree. He's full. Belle. Oh, he's full. He's full. Do you see this? He's full. No more. Yes, he's full. Okay, let me finish this. Okay, I'll leave you in a moment. All right. I'm back. We're going to do this. Messy, chaotic. We're doing this, all right? We are going to have to make this happen. All right. So, okay, next thing. Yeast is still very temperamental on temperature. Okay, so depending on where you live, you can get away with lower activating temps for your yeast. Lower temps are about 95 degrees. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. You're going to have a really hard time getting your yeast to truly activate at only 95-ish degrees, especially if you live in the high country where it's freezing cold and snows everywhere. For example, like, look at that. That's outside. Oh, so much snow, and it's absolutely frigid, okay? Today's much warmer, but it's still frigid. Now my camera's not where it's supposed to be. Apologies. Okay. If you live in country like this, high elevation, cold as all get out, and there's snow, and the air is just crazy dry. I mean, like yesterday when I stepped outside because I was going out to troubleshoot where our pipes were frozen up, I literally just went into a coughing fit because ice crystals were forming in my throat the moment I took a breath of that cold, cold winter air. Okay? The cold literally sucks the moisture out of the air. It freeze dries it. Okay? It makes life very difficult sometimes. Are you saying hi? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, if you live in climates like that, you've got to turn that temp up. Now, I'm always going to tell you to activate your yeast because you don't know if your yeast is any good or if it's bad if you don't activate it before you add it to your flour, okay? It's going to save you having to toss so much. If it's already bad and you you add all that water in there with that dead yeast, you just got this soupy, goopy mess. And then what are you going to do? That was, your yeast is already in there. And if you don't have a backup yeast, then you know what? You've got to toss that because it's going to dry out. It's going to be very difficult to go all the way down to the store, get new yeast, and come back and restart it and try again. No, you generally just end up tossing all of that flour, all of the yeast, all the stuff that you already put in your bowl, and starting over from fresh scratch as soon as you possibly have some more yeast. Okay, I need you to hop down. Thank you. I'm almost done. Okay. All right. Trying to stick with it, and they're helping. Like always, right? My kids are always here. The littles are always with me. Complicates the hell out of things. But you know what? I love and I adore them. And as long as they're not having a screaming fit, I don't care if they're here with me.
You down a bit. You hear Mom said.
Okay, now if only she was that way when I was talking to her.
Not me.
All right, so activate your yeast first.
She said you will do it when you go to work. I do some. You don't.
How about we be nice about it this time? Instead of being bossy about it this time. Can you say, please listen?
Please listen.
And let's have fun.
Let's have fun.
Let's let it be easy.
Let's be easy. You hear Mom say.
Okay, girls. Okay, let go. We gotta do this. All right, I love you. Okay, now listen. I'm talking to you. I need you to hop down so I can actually focus and do this, okay? Can you please do that for me? Can you be my big helper?
I do, son. You don't.
Okay, the only time my kids like the camera is when they're actually involved and they're just being goofy. Okay. Nope. Gotta hop down.
I'm going to see you.
You guys have seen. Okay, here, tell you what. You guys can both get up here and say a great big bye in 2 minutes. Okay, yes, you can sit there. Okay, so I done forgot where I was at. Let's see. Activating your yeast. Temperature, that's what I was on. Okay, so if you live in a country like I am, or in cold lying country like I am, always take your temp up of your liquids that you're starting your yeast in up to 120 to 130. Now during the winter time, when it is cold outside, kick that temp up as close to that 130 as you possibly can, okay? But you don't want to go over 130 because then you start running the risk of actually cooking your yeast and killing it. Because yeast is alive. It's alive. It's what makes your bread literally come alive. Well, you are preparing it. Yeast is a living thing, all right? It's a living thing. All right, now the preferred sugars for yeast is actually the natural glucoses in your wheat, in the actual flour that you're using. Now you've got more glucose in your fine, soft, white flours, okay? So if you're grinding your own beans, soft white has got the most glucose. But you know what? Hard red wheat also is high in glucose too, which means you can have a whole wheat bread that still raises up beautifully without having to add additional glucoses or additional sugars to your bread in order to actually make it grow, okay? All right, so yeast prefers natural glucoses, but we can simulate those with adding sugar, honey, molasses, and other natural sweeteners such as applesauce or bananas, okay? Now, some will argue that adding sugars will actually slow down your yeast. I've never found this to be true. It could be, but I personally haven't found it to be true. I know that my yeast works a lot faster, it's a much more healthy when I actually add molasses to it. Molasses is super concentrated sugar. That's exactly what it is. It's super concentrated and it's overbaked sugar. It's a byproduct of making natural sugars, okay? So, all right. It's right. You get. Get down.
We're going to play chains.
Okay, you go. Good job. Give me 5. I like that plan. Thanks. Okay. We still have to be quiet though. All right. So, that kickstart by adding a little bit of honey, a little bit of molasses. Now, if you are if you are going to be Ellie, soft voice, soft voice. Yes, that's soft. It's too noisy. Okay, this is something I really struggle with on lives at home with little kids is the noise. I have a hard time with the noise, y'all. Okay, so you can kickstart your yeast by using sugars, but white sugar doesn't work as well. In fact, the white sugar never fully really dissolves. And if you've got a lot of sugar in your breads, most recipes call for a full cup of sugar. That's insane. That's an insane amount of sugar. You don't need that much sugar in your bread, okay? Now I'm talking about yeast breads, traditional yeast breads. Most of them will call for a full cup of sugar. That is way too much, way too much. And it's actually going to give your bread a grainy taste because all that sugar is not going to dissolve, okay? And then you're not good. And nobody wants their bread to have like a sandy texture to it. Come on. Always use honey or molasses. That is truly, truly my recommendation. If you're using raw honey though, my dear, you do need to give it a quick, small pasteurizing because yeast is very touchy and raw honey, especially raw honey, is naturally antibacterial, okay? And every now and then, its amazing healing properties that it naturally has can heal your yeast. Same thing with salt. Never add your salt in immediately. You always want to wait till a little later on into the mixing process to add your salt because salt is a sterilizer. Once again, yeast is alive. It's alive! So, salt can kill your yeast. Okay? Now, you can add too much sweeteners and so it works like throwing gasoline onto a burning fire, and then it causes all sorts of problems, okay, y'all? So it will actually burn through the energy of the yeast far faster than what you can process your bread out. You don't need that much sugar, okay? And it's going to make everything go so fast that your bread doesn't actually turn out. Don't add more sugar than you have to, okay, honey? So, the next thing, how do you store your yeast to keep it so that it's always going to keep for as long as possible? Once you open it, always keep it in a sealed container where moisture is not going to get into it, and keep it in your fridge. Or, better yet, store it in your freezer. In fact, your unopened containers, store them in your freezer. Okay? This works just like bears in the wintertime. It makes it hibernate. It doesn't wake up when it's cold. And if it's in the freezer, then you're not going to run the risk of having that really hot day come that just happens to heat your pantry up or your kitchen cupboards, whatever it is. They're not going to heat clear up. No, honey. Your yeast is going to stay at constant temperature. And it's going to make it so that it's going to last longer and be more biteable. All right, my dears, they're really noisy. But before I leave, I want to leave you with this. If you are a really busy parent, a busy mom, a busy dad, or a busy parent figure that always is on the run, or you know somebody that never seems to stop to take a beat for themselves. They never seem to stop to even take 10 minutes for themselves. I want you to encourage them to come join the Busy Parent Waitlist. The doors are just about to open again, and I tell you, when I told you that when we first started this, I was throwing the rule book out on everything, and we were starting all over again. Honey, I just changed my plans for my course. Okay? So this is going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing, or it could end in a complete catastrophe. We don't know until we try it. But you know what? I'm really excited about doing this because this is going to make it so I can be full on live interacting with you in real time while you're baking and all the things. Okay? So if you want to get in on homemade breads with Busy Parent, join the wait list. So it is at bit.ly/busy parent wait list. And I'm about to open the doors. I'm making these few last changes, and then we are going to be live. Live! Where I'm going to show you how to easily manage your time. Girls, so you can easily manage your time and be able to take 10 minutes for yourself to truly just dive in and divulge your love and your passion into doing homemade breads and making it a reality. Whether you've tried in the past to be successful and it has ended in catastrophe and failure after failure. Clara, shh, soft voice. Or if you're brand new to baking bread, I'm going to show you why these problems are happening. I'm going to show you how often they happen. And I'm going to show you how to overcome them in a far easier way so that you can start bringing back all of those old memories or the romanticized idea of walking into Grandma's house and the smell of the fresh homemade bread coming from her oven that she just poured her love and heart into because you were coming. Or perhaps you were able to jump up on that stool because you were too short to reach and actually plunge your hands into that dough to beat it down side by side with her. And the feeling of that warm, soft dough enveloping around your hands and the look of absolute delight that you had on your face when you looked up at Grandma and she smiled down on you. Side by side, baking up your breads with Grandma. And best of all, being able to enjoy that absolutely delicious smell that filled the entire home with love and comfort. And everything was perfect in that one moment. No wrong could happen. Then, sitting down and enjoying the absolutely delicious, tasty results of it all. If you don't have a memory like this, this is your chance, this is your opportunity to make that reality a reality for yourself, for your kids, and your own grandkids that you either have already or not yet. Can you imagine what memories like that, happy, uncontaminated memories, of just absolute peace, love, and comfort, and happiness, and stories, and everything else that come with it, could mean to your own kids? How would you change them if you actually invited them in to do it with you, to learn side by side with you when you were ready to do it? To learn where they could learn with me and my own son, as he walks your kids and you through baking homemade breads from a kid's angle. Most importantly, what would that mean to you to have those memories in your life, to create those memories, and to know how far those skills that you're teaching your kids or your grandkids, or your best friends, kids that are always over at your house because they just love and adore you. What would that mean to you? To be that lasting memory of comfort in their life. My friend, if you want to learn how to do what it is that I do in an easy way so that you can make your breads in a faster way, that are just like Grandma's bread, come join me. Homemade breads for the Busy Parent waitlist. And come join me in this brand new, redone version of my favorite course of all times. Homemade breads for the Busy Parent. And I will see you tomorrow. See you guys. If you know somebody, make sure to please grab that link in the description and share it out with them. And here in a moment, you'll be able to find this video over on our main page where you can have a shareable link directly out to them. See you, friends.